Hi everyone, and welcome to the first video installment for the Certified Lifestyle Fitness Coach program offered through the Spencer Institute. Now, some of you may have purchased the newest edition of the textbook that's used for this course, and if so, you can see that the latest edition included a name change to the title of the textbook, but either edition of the book will work just fine for this course. My name is Mark Tehan, and I will be your narrator and presenter for this program. And as director of the Spencer Institute, I also want to take a minute to congratulate you on your choice to become a certified lifestyle fitness coach. In putting this program together, we had to think about the needs of health and fitness professionals who are sometimes challenged by clients who are generally compliant within the confines or constructs of a fitness center or that coach and client relationship, but still have needs in the periphery that have ties to physical activity. So in other words, it could be really easy for a client to meet with a trainer or a coach 2 to 3 hours a week, but there are so many more hours left within the client's lifestyle and their week that can represent obstacles or barriers to not only their physical fitness, but their overall wellness. Therefore, it becomes clear that some lifestyle interventions are often needed in order to link all of the required dimensions of a lifestyle that supports physical activity and general wellness together. We have a lot to cover in this program, so we'll begin by defining what a lifestyle fitness coach does, and then provide you with a solid foundation for us to build upon in future lessons. And we hope that you're as excited to take this course as we were in our approach to producing and developing it. So let's get started with a continuation of our introduction to the program. This program has really one main goal or purpose, and that's to bridge that gap that is sometimes seen between fitness professionals and coaching. Now, so many times a fitness trainer, for example, can work with a client for a couple of hours each week without really getting to the root of related lifestyle dimensions that might need to be changed or addressed by other types of coaching. And for some who don't already engage in regular physical activity, their lifestyle may be just one of the reasons why. Most of you would agree that we are all typically busy, and we don't always feel that we've got the ability to express ourselves physically if it's strictly defined to working out in a gym with programmed exercise design. Furthermore, the role of a personal trainer can include a really broad agenda. Trainers tend to take certification courses with multiple subjects involved in order to stay current in their field. But coaches are a little different, as they tend to create their coaching agendas more towards those issues that are more aligned with their field of expertise in sport or fitness disciplines, and this can include sport coaching and health coaching, for example. But if we're thinking strictly of personal trainers and personal training, you might agree that they also need to be able to better understand their clients and their reasons or motivations for their exercise habits. This might include getting background information from your client, including experience with exercise in the past. During this time, personal trainers should also be learning about the client's lifestyle, though, and exercise style profiles related to the client's past fitness programming attempts. Once a trainer can better understand their client, it allows for the trainer to make recommendations that are related to fitness activities with a greater probability for the client to enjoy, and therefore, hopefully, incorporate them as part of their lifestyle. Although it might be at times controversial, health and fitness professionals have little doubt about the benefits of physical activity. Most of the debate centers around the amount of physical activity recommended, not really about whether or not we should be active. Generally, and as a society, we need to engage in more active lifestyles. Now, at the turn of the century, there was enough information to prove the benefits of maintaining a solid foundation of exercise, fitness, or physical activity as one of the main cornerstones of healthy living. And some of the things that we have learned include the one-size-fits-all approach to fitness just simply doesn't work. We've also learned that even though science has provided us great tools for analyzing and applying sciences like biomechanics, these criteria are not sufficient enough for solid program designs. We've also had a chance to see how some fads can endure, while others fall shy of their goal or purpose. There are other elements for fitness professionals to be aware of, and most of the knowledge we have collected since the original fitness revolution of the mid-60s supports the benefits of having an active lifestyle. This also means that we might need to increase the forces and support for active living, not only by providing more appealing programming for our client, but also through structure and social support networks that help our client to stay engaged. Sometimes this can be as simple as customizing fitness programs to address individual needs, but can also branch out into lifestyles or a more inclusive range of personal and health benefits. Likewise, as fitness continues to grow in popularity, so does the controversy about the limitations we observe in the physical or personal training process. Some of the other closely aligned fields of health and wellness have accused fitness trainers of crossing the lines with respect to scope of practice. As part of the drive to establish their credibility, fitness professionals have begun to police themselves and help to define the lines distinguishing themselves from other types of health services offered by coaching professionals. This blurred line between mind and body disciplines that's always been present in the fitness world is a result of all parties involved realizing that one cannot always isolate and treat only one segment of our client's being or experiences with expectations that might be too high or unrealistic. With a lot of hard work, fitness professionals have learned to be able to spend 2 or 3 hours per week with their client and incorporate coaching about other life dimensions that are important to staying physically fit. This necessary step in the evolution of fitness training is due to the fact that trainers maybe have come to realize that they need to have intelligent dialogue with clients about matters that might reach into other parts of their life if they are known to have an effect on their activity level. So yes, there are many different types of coaches, but whatever your definition is, we typically view coaches as those who are in charge of making big decisions and taking responsibility when either the team or the individual fails to perform, and this might be too much of a burden for a coach to carry. Counseling, whether it be educational, religious, or psychological, aims to help people who are confronting normal life dilemmas and adjustments, and counseling is generally short-term and problem-focused. One of the key differences in coaching is that a coach will analyze a problem and then coach you on your options. Another significant difference would be the range between actions that are considered collaborative or directive. In consideration of coaching, such as life coaching, some might say that this would have a more narrow scope and conversely counseling has a more broad scope. The truth of it is that coaching gets much of its skill based on principles from the evolution of counseling and counseling theories that were developed in the early 20th century. Some of the differences suggest that coaches, when compared with counselors, are more likely to emphasize the present and future more than the past, while focusing on solutions rather than problems. Coaches frame issues for more goal setting and for diagnosing and directing conversations more toward action plans than an analysis. Coaches are also likely to use assignments or practice and even homework to foster movement toward growth. Let's step back now and piece together the information that we know to further define what lifestyle fitness coaching truly could be. We've identified the need for a special process to be in place that allows for communication between the health and fitness professional and their client that results in supportive fitness programs and motivational guidance. Yet, even though we have seen an attempt to delimit the role of fitness professionals by addressing different parts of the whole client, society overall is still trending towards the more holistic approaches of fitness and wellness, and when paired with the nature of a fitness trainer's relationship with their client, has resulted in efforts to apply restrictions to coaching roles. Now, because we have identified the important presence and potential of a new professional category of life coaching, we can also see that the processes used in both coaching and counseling are congruent with the legitimate parameters of the fitness professional's job or job description. When we put this all together, we have a new definition for a lifestyle fitness coach defined as an ongoing and guided process of dialogue between a client and a health professional. In this way, the coaching relationship becomes less about the actions and is more focused on the communication and interactions with the client. To take this all one step deeper, we can look to describe what lifestyle fitness coaching is by considering it to be a style that's based on the coach being informed about comprehensive fitness-related data that would relate to their client's needs, interests, and personal orientations, as well as their lifestyle in a more holistic manner. Lifestyle fitness coaching is also seen to be directed toward aligning a broad-based health goal or a set of health goals to personal and health gains for their client that are congruent with what the client needs and wants. It's also a style of coaching that's successful when our client has benefited from sustained involvement in some form of physical activity, and we should also acknowledge that this involvement is adjusted periodically according to the client's evolving life agendas and the progress a client makes toward their goals. In the traditional perspectives that we have or hold of coaching currently, we tend to view one person within this relationship to be the professional or one with all of the answers, whereas the other person involved, in this case, the client, is considered to be pretty much unaware or not knowledgeable and depending on the expert or coach for advice. The problem with this particular perspective is that it tends to undermine the ability of the client and assumes that they may be too passive in the process. But to be clear, we have more dynamics of this relationship that we need to consider. For instance, the effectiveness of the coach's communication will depend on how well that they can engage their client. And this also has an effect on the coach's ability to be able to consider other factors that need to be addressed as part of an exercise prescription. Toward this goal of being an effective lifestyle fitness coach, ongoing and guided dialogue is considered necessary to maintain over time because this coaching process used is not a one-time situation. Now, assuming that we no longer view clients as passive, we also now see that both parties in the coach and client relationship are approaching the dynamic with different sources of expertise and information. Normally, data that is important for the coach relative to the physical fitness level of the client would be typically assessed up front or in the beginning of the coach and client relationship. And although this information is usually very helpful, it's not always sufficient, and many times fitness professionals fail to understand the incentives or motivations that need to be understood in order to find the links to the client's drives, motives, and their vision. So yes, lifestyle fitness coaching does rely on strong communication between the coach or trainer and their client. This is how we get at the true goals of our client to be able to accomplish a desired outcome. While building rapport, trainers can find out what the client's willing to do in order to make physical activity a more important factor or part of their lives and what they're willing to commit to. We also have to be careful that, as coaches, we don't limit outcomes for our client. Other outcomes, sometimes unknown early in the coach and client relationship, will become possible, and being able to see these may require innovative thinking and a client-centered program approach. More specifically, getting to these other outcomes can require that the client exercise with a specific plan that's been personally designed with their goals in mind. Yet, in order to be able to protect our domain as fitness professionals, we have to always remember that there are many health professionals who intervene with our client on different levels. But the task of aligning individuals with an appropriate fitness program design is always best when left in the hands of qualified health and fitness professionals. And now that you are taking this course and getting certified as a lifestyle fitness coach, this positions you squarely in the context of this group of professionals. There will be times when clients present matters to coaches that may lie outside of their field of practice or may only have a small amount of relevance to physical activity or fitness programming. In these cases, it's always best to refer the client to the appropriate professional for further diagnosis and possible intervention strategies. But more often than not, we see these other strategies being intertwined with fitness goals, and in this way we can see how physical activity or fitness by itself also helps to support social context or other supportive environments as part of the process. For a typical day, a lifestyle fitness coach would meet with their client to be able to review medical and physical histories before they even begin training or working with them. The trainer or coach also needs to uncover the goals for why the client has decided to make a change into a more active lifestyle, and this may also reveal some of the other personal styles and preferences for your client. During this time of assessments, coaches will also want to explore other expectations that clients have in terms of the process. By doing this, the coach is able to determine which activities are best suited for the client at that particular time of their life, and which activities will also help them to develop skills and abilities that facilitate or support desired lifestyle changes. Only after the lifestyle fitness coach has determined the end goals for the client can they turn to their facility and its available equipment for exercise programming. As an example, a client who wants to improve their golf swing will have program variables that directly impact this particular end goal, and the coach or trainer's job is then to be able to maximize use of their facility and what they have access to in order to help the client to hit this target. If we were to summarize what your job description would look like, this is pretty much it, and this is what your client vision map might look like. And as you can see, this is a lot to manage. So while looking at this diagram, you'll want to keep in mind that the lifestyle fitness coach will be the client's guide through all of this sort of development needed, rather than just being a one-off type of coach who instructs climbing or cycling, for example. The lifestyle fitness coach would need to collaborate with clients in order to create this sort of roadmap toward active living, and then sometimes serve as the technical expertise in those areas that are congruent with the coach's competencies. Hopefully, you're able to look at this map and see both opportunity and a large dose of fun in the process. So part 1 has been about learning what a lifestyle fitness coach does and how it evolved into being. And now in part 2, we're going to look more at coaching and active living.